Hello everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm thrilled to have you here on the journey of exploring the dynamic world of stock market. My name is Rishi and on this channel we are going to dive deep into the art of technical analysis and stock market insights. So for this month I have two stocks for you. The first one is Geojit Financials and then the second one is Flexi Stuff Ventures. You know why? Let's take a close look at it. Geojit Financials, again on a monthly chart, the stock was in a downtrend and recently it has given a breakout on 54, which was after the consolidation of almost a year. On the monthly chart, it is the closing of the monthly chart is likely to happen above the resistance. Uh, if you see the stock has started outperforming Nifty on a relational strength perspective because it's almost crossing zero. The RSI is pretty positive about 50. The another reason for me to look into this stock is if you go on a weekly chart, it has already given a good breakout on a weekly chart. So it's a good time to enter into this stock with a huge spike of a volume. If you see RSI and relative strengths are pretty above the zero, and then RSI it's a little bit in an overbought zone, but that's okay because the stock has broken its 52-week high. So it's a good way to get into in an early stage. If you see on a monthly chart, the stock had a huge fall for last few years, and then it's in a consolidation phase for almost about a year. Even though the super trend was turned red almost last year, the stock went to a consolidation phase. But now the stock has given a good breakout of from this resistance, which is 30 34.50 34.90. So stock has already given a breakout with a huge spike in the volume. So considering this, I think I would be trading this stock. The If you see the immediate resistance, because after this breakout, the immediate resistance I would have is at 121, and then the second resistance or the second swing high was around 272. So I would say that there is a huge potential for this up movement in here. So if you consider from here to here, it's already a good move on a monthly basis. So that would be my pick for September, like a good technical setup. So how did you find this stock? For more such stock ideas and technical analysis, please subscribe to my channel. Feel free to share your ideas and any similar stock with the same pattern in the comment section. Thank you for watching. Good day, everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm thrilled to have you here on a journey of exploring the dynamic world of stock market together. My name is Rishi, and on this channel, we are going to dive deep into the world of technical analysis. I will be sharing my technical analysis for educational purpose and my view on a particular stock. Most of you may have a question that the global markets are following pretty much day by day. We are hearing not so great news. The interest rates are going up. We might see another hike by Fed this month, if not definitely next month. So what should we do in such a situation? So my answer to that is we should follow our system. We should follow our rules. Don't break your rules just by some news. So if you find stocks which is breaking out during this market, that means that those stocks have pretty high potential to go up. Just imagine, even in current market, if these stocks are outperforming the markets, they're giving their breakouts with a good rising volumes. That means that the stock have a good potential. It just a matter of market is reversing, and then there might be a huge spikes in the stocks. Obviously, the rule of thumb is if the markets are following, tighten your stop loss, bring your stop loss to the cost, for example, for any existing positions. Keep an eye, make sure that there is no big gap downs. Follow a strict stop loss, follow a strict allocation, don't over allocate. Make sure that you're not risking too much of your capital in a one single trade or a single stock. So if you follow some of these things, then even in the bear markets, you could find some potentials. And we only enter if the stock meets our rules or meets our requirements. So not breaking rule, not trying to find any specific stocks by digging. If it comes in our screener, then only we look into that stock. So let's take a look at this month's stocks. So for this month, I am following IOB, Indian Overseas Bank. There are a few reasons for that. The first one is good volume for a longer duration, consistent good volume, I would say. The stock is making higher high and higher lows, which is a good sign from a Dow theory. Uh, Strong buying zone from an RSI perspective. The stock is in an overbought zone. But just remember that there is a chance of a little pullback because for this stock, this month candle was pretty high and strong. So it is pretty much observed that after a very strong breakout candle, there is a slight profit booking or a slight breakout, but we are not trying to do a BTST or like buy today and sell tomorrow. We are looking for a mid to long term duration. So the pullback would be a good buying sign, or you can just wait for the stock to break that particular zone again, the buying zone, and then enter. I can show you what I mean in the chart. Let's take a look at the chart. All right, now let's take a look at the chart for IOB. You can see, I would say, I would consider this as a strong reversal breakout because, I mean, the stock has seen a good fall during the GFC, during 2011, of course, after the 2015, and then stock is been in a downtrend for a long time. So we have seen a lot of lower lows and lower highs even on a longer term. And being in the financial industry, that's it's considered as it's a flip side, or if it's a quick turnaround, whatever you may call it. But if you see a good turnaround where stock has done pretty much lower low, lower highs, and now there is a turnaround with a greater volume, some positive news from a fundamental side, and then if stock started producing some higher highs and higher lows, it's considered as a good long-term sign for a possible long-term reversal. So if you look at the chart, I would say pretty much from after the pandemic or after the COVID dip, the super trend is pretty much positive since then. The stock has pretty much rallied a lot, but now it is showing a good breakout from a recent swing highs, or pretty much past 3 swing highs. And if you see this, the consolidation phase, even after the super trend, there was a pullback, then there was a consolidation, then stock did try to break this level again, there was a pullback, and after the two successive pullbacks, the stock has now shown a good breakout with a strong volume. You can consider, I just move myself. You can see the RSI is constantly in a overbought zone, pretty much a deep curve there. The stock has been outperforming the index since, I would say, almost a year now. So considering all of this factor, I would consider this as a good good time to enter. If you see, this month candle is very strong, it's about 48-49%. So there is a slight chance that next month we may see a little bit of a pullback. So you can wait for the stock to come around 40 level and then enter, or if you want to do maybe enter, if you want to enter now, you can enter with 50% of your position and then see if the stock does the pullback for next month. And if there is a little pullback, you can average it out, but make sure that you follow a strict stop loss, because we all know the markets are pretty much in a downtrend, and considering a financial sector, it can affect pretty quickly. So make sure that you have a good stop loss. I would be either following the super trend, or the long support, which is bit higher uh, from a percentage wise. I would say it is pretty much higher. So I would still consider a super trend as a stop loss. Or if you are a really conservative trader, and if you enter fully, I mean, there is another scenario where if you enter completely in the stock with your 100% allocation, 100% allocation for this stock, not to the portfolio, because you know the thumb rule. I normally don't go beyond 5 to 6% of my total portfolio. But if I put for example, 5 or 6% of my position, and I put everything at once, what you can do is you can use this month candle, which is still a long candle, as your stop loss, which might be a bit of a higher stop loss in terms of 40%, but yeah, it's a financial market stocks, so there is a potential risk that you may want to take it. And that's why I keep telling everyone that make sure that you don't put more than 5% of your total portfolio. So even if you consider, let's say, this month candle as a stop loss, we're talking about 40% of your 5%, which is hardly 2% of your total portfolio. So that's a good way to manage your risk. But if the trend continues, I think there is a quick potential that you can make a quick profit. And then what you can do is you can do the partial profit booking at around, say, this level, which is again around 84, 85. Book a partial profit and then let the trend goes, and then just ride that trend, because the next resistance, that is pretty far away, which is 164. So that is, I would say, still about 2 times, or even the first resistance is around 60-70%. So if you book some profit here, there is a potential that you can ride another, I would say, 80-85% from the profit perspective. So which is a good sign. So considering all of this, I think this looks to me a pretty strong stock. As I said, you need to follow a couple of things. You need to follow this month candle. As I said, this was a pretty high candle, so make sure that you follow a strict stop loss. Keep an eye on the market as well. If you think that the stock is relative strength wise, it started underperforming market, that's a good time you can exit it. You can also, another approach which we discussed was, you can enter in 2 steps. So you can enter 50% of your total allocation for this particular stock at this price, and if you see another green candle in month of October, that's where you can enter with your remaining position. So these are a couple of options I would consider specifically buying this particular stock for this month. So let's see, please comment on this couple of strategies. What do you think about how we can manage risk in particular situation where we have a strong trend, but the stock has already gone up a little bit? There might be a chance of pullback. The markets are downtrending. So quite an interesting scenario. So I would like to get some of your feedback, your experience in the comment section below. So let's see what we can find for next month. Thank you. So for this month, I also have one more stock, but that to be kept on a watch list. I'm not entering this stock as of yet. For me, this stock is in a buying zone. So let's take a look at that stock and keep an eye for this month and see what happens. The stock is Bajaj Hindustan Sugars. The reason I'm keeping this stock in my watch list is because it's a strong breakout, but immediately got rejected by an immediate resistance. Stock in a pullback zone, and it's consolidating in that buying zone. It's constantly trying to break that immediate resistance. So once that stock breaks that immediate resistance or it goes a bit above that buying zone, then it's a good time to enter that stock. Let's take a look at that chart as well. So I thought it's worth sharing another stock which I'm following for this month. Again, I'm not entering in this stock at least now. I might try to enter somewhere in the midweek, but this is something I really want to keep in my watch list. So let's see the chart, uh, and I'll explain you what I mean by adding something to the wish list or maybe a your watch list. Sorry. Uh, so you can see this stock. Oh, it's hard to zoom in because look at the fluctuation this stock has given, right? Crazy, eh? So stock has fallen pretty much 90%, I would say, since last many years. But and since I would say for almost a few years or even more than that, since 2018, the stock is been trading in a particular zone, and recently I can see a good breakout. So the stock is showing 52 candle breakout. The super trend have turned positive with an inclination, not with a flat line, I would say, but with an inclination on May 2021. So it's been almost 2 years now. So in 2 years, the stock is in a positive super trend, but with a good volumes, and again in a consolidation phase. So stock has broken that consolidation phase, and it did try to break in the last month candle, but it got rejected by a previous resistance. So this is a typical scenario where you may want to look at this. So see, this was the previous resistance, or R1 you can call it in a technical terms, was broken by last week candle on a closing basis, but there is an immediate resistance which is in, I would change the color of this candle, of this trend line maybe, which was a resistance for 2014, which is a previous resistance. So the stock price got rejected, typically called as a rejection in technical terms, at around, let's say, 30.70, and now it's going in this buying zone. So I would call it as a buying zone. So what you can do is you can enter again. If you're doing a pyramiding, you can enter with some quantities now and then wait for this breakout and then you enter. Or if you want to trade it once, I would keep this stock in my watch list, as everything else is pretty positive. The stock is outperforming the market. I was reading about some of the financials. There are some pretty good the fundamental indicators, or there are some good fundamental news around it. The RSI is pretty much has broken into a higher zone, high overbought zone. So it's pretty trending at this point. So considering that, what I would do is I would keep this stock on a watch list and monitor that stock on a smaller time frame, let's say weekly. So on a weekly, it has already given some breakout, and now stock is kind of going in that, I would say, consolidating in that buying zone, in our buying zone. And if I start seeing some positive candles here, then I would make sure that I enter exactly on this breakout. And that way, going back to our monthly chart, we might see some sort of a breakout in a coming month, and that way it is forming a higher lows, which is again a good positive sign from a Dow theory. The super trends are going in the inclination direction. There are some earnings I think we are expecting in, let's say, November, so there might be some some action on this stock on October. So definitely this is the stock I would be keeping on my watch list. You can also keep this stock in your watch list. If you find anything specific around this stock, feel free to add anything in the comment section. Let's see what happens to this stock. I'll be keeping this stock in a watch list, and if it breaks, who knows, we may enter in this stock. So thank you for watching. So what do you think about those stocks? I know you might ask the question that the markets are following and why these stocks are going up. Well, that's the secret, right? So there are still some stocks which will try to bounce during the falling markets as well. As I said at the beginning, the rule is to make sure that you're following your stop loss, maybe tighten your stop loss, bring your stop losses to your cost at your cost if you're already in a trend, and then just ride the trend, follow the rules, don't break the rules, keep an eye, trade safe, save your capital. So let's see what we can find next month, and I'll see you next month. Good day, everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm thrilled to have you here on exploring the journey of stock market together. On this channel, we will dive deep into the art of technical analysis for stock market trading and investing. In this video, we'll go through some monthly stock picks based on my research and technical analysis. The monthly stock picks are mainly for the people who want to stay long term in the market but doesn't have time to track daily ups and downs of the market. So people who want to give little time to the market but stay in the long term, have that vision and invest time to time. Mainly people who are entrepreneurs, having business, uh, job, people having 9 to 5 job who doesn't have time to give to the market and research. It's mainly for them, so that you can just look at your portfolio monthly, buy some good stocks monthly, make sure you follow the right position sizing, right risk management. That way, by doing less, you can do more or earn more returns over the long term. So that's the goal. So before we take a look at this month's stock picks, let's take a look at some of the previous stock that we discussed in the previous videos. Let's see where they are at, what they're doing from a price perspective. So for this month on NSE, I have got two stocks for you. First one is Vocard Pharma, which is from a fundamentally has shown a strong growth in recent profits. So in recent quarters, it is the stock has shown a strong monthly returns. Cash flow wise, it is improving. It's one of the good companies in the pharma sector, and on chart it looks pretty strong. The second stock I got for you for this month is Unitech Limited. Uh, from a profit perspective, it has shown a strong performance in the profit. The company has reduced some debt, which is a good sign. They're reinvesting the cash into new projects. So these are some good signs fundamentally, which is reflected in the price. So let's take a look at the charts of both of these stocks. So let's take a look at this chart. So this is a pure reversal, but this is also called as a reverse triangle pattern. So I'll show you what I mean. So if you just put a triangle around the price, so look at that, the price is reverting. So this is the downward trend line. The stock didn't break this trend line before. So the downward triangle or the reverse triangle pattern forms when the price is falling continuously. So in this case, you can see it's pretty much from 2016, the price is falling. But even though the price is falling, it's keeping a strong base. So that's called as the base of the base of the triangle. So you can see the price tried to break down at this point of time, but it couldn't. It just bounced back. And then this has formed a strong base, which is around, let's say 135, 134-ish. So that's the strong support. But now, if you take a look at this month, the stock has broken its triangle pattern. It has broken above the trend line with a strong green candle, which is a positive sign. The super trend has turned positive. That means the price has broken above the negative super trend line. Uh, it is also called as a super trend reversal. So it's a confirmation of a trend reversal in the context. Uh, the price is trading a little far away from its 52-week high, but that's okay because it's a reversal pattern, a triangle reversal pattern. From a relative strength perspective, see the whole period, the stock was underperforming the market for about almost 5 years, but now the stock is trying to go up and beat the market. So last couple of months, the stock is beating the market. So relative strength is turning positive. The RSI is moving upward, even though it hasn't crossed the buying zone yet. But RSI is a lagging indicator, and we are relying on this strong candle because last couple of months the stock was consolidating. That's the reason you see the RSI was flat. But now that it has given a strong breakout, the RSI also going pretty positive. And I'm sure in the next month candle one, if it forms another strong green candle, the RSI would go in the buy zone. So considering this pattern, the stop loss is pretty much no brainer in this case. So when you have a strong downward triangle pattern or a reverse triangle pattern, the base of this triangle becomes your stop loss, and which is I think we've discussed this 132 to 134. Uh, from a target perspective, if I just see the targets, the immediate resistance is around 604. Uh, the second resistance, which is pretty high, 871. So these are the two resistance zones. So I think it would be fair to say that the first target is pretty much around this one, which is in terms of points, a percentage, really a good target to be in. So yeah, considering all of this factor, this looks pretty strong to me. Let's see what we can find next month. So if you take a look at this chart, it shows you a strong breakout. So the breakout was for this resistance, which was 3.90. So when we see such a strong breakout, because this month's candle looks very, very positive, it's a really up move. So we have to be cautious in such scenarios that there is a definite chance of a pullback or a profit booking. So what I normally suggest in this case is you enter at this price point. So for example, let's say if we enter at this price point, which is this one, and if we see any pullback, for example, in that case, we may see a pullback up to here, and then stock may consolidate that and then again break this price. So you can go you can take a two-step approach in this one. So you can enter with half of the quantity at this point. If you see a pullback, you can you can enter the remaining quantity and then wait for the upside. Of course, at that time, what you can do is your stop loss should be conservative in such cases, because what happens is, as I mentioned, uh, we might see a pullback, and there is a slight chance that the pullback may continue, or maybe the price may even break down. So you can, if you're a conservative trader, you can put up your stop loss at around let's say 2.35, and if you're a risk taker, then you can put your stop loss at this resistance, which is very low, to be honest, which is 1.10. But remember, this is a really strong breakout. This is, I think, almost, if I check, it's almost three almost 5 year breakout. The stock has broken almost 5 year zone. So how did you find those stocks? Makes sense. So what we have done differently today is we have checked some fundamentals. We have checked, of course, as we are the technical traders, the system traders. We looked into the technicals. And on the monthly chart, you may find you will have more opportunities to enter. So even if you miss day one of the month, let's say first or second, the first week of the stock is still good time to enter as long as price hasn't given a too much move from our technical studies. So based on that, let me know your thoughts, your comments. If you have found something specific for this month, please feel free to share your thoughts in the comment section, and don't forget to subscribe and like my channel. I see you next month.